All right, hello everyone, that's Mr. Crozier. I'm going to help you with this problem here. We have a given function. Our job is to find all the extrema. That means the mins and the maxes, global and relative. So let's go ahead and make this table right here. And the points I'm going to use, of course, are my first point is -3. And then 7. So I'm looking at this function over this interval. So from day -3 to day 7, what is going on in here? And so I know right away that the global max or min might be at one of these. These could be the highest point on the graph. All my job is to do is find the other one. Well, let's see what we have here. I'm going to type this function in here. 1/3, let me put that in parentheses, 1/3 times x to the third power. Minus x squared minus 8x. And there's my function. Let's go ahead and make a table. I'm going to do the ask here and table. Let's put -3. So I know at -3 the output is 6. And that may be a maximum, that may be a minimum. I'm not sure yet, but it could be something. And let's put in 7. 7 is 9.3. We could do a fraction for that, but we'll let it go right now as a decimal. So it's about 9.3. So this may be the maximum. This may be the minimum. However, we don't know. Well, let's go ahead and graph that right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At -3, it's 6. And at 7, it's 9.3. But we don't have any idea what's going on in between there. We just know it's negative, or it's 6 here, and it's 9 there. I think, whoops, this one's a little bit too high. Let's move it down here. So something's going on in here, and again, we have to find those critical points. And where are the critical points? Well, that's where this derivative, let's take the derivative of it. What would that be? That would be x squared minus 2x minus 8. Where this derivative is equal to 0, those are possible maxes and mins because we want slopes to be equal to 0, right? And if we have a point that goes up and comes down, well, the slope here is 0. And if we have a point that goes down and then goes up, the slope here, this is a relative max. This is a relative min. So we want slopes to be 0 at that point. So we need to solve this for 0. Well, just a little bit of factoring here, and it won't take too long. Plus 2. If I FOIL that, I get back there. So my points are 4 and -2. Those are possibilities. Those are possibilities where I have maxes and mins built into the inside. Well, how do I know which one is which? Well, we do the first derivative test. And it looks like this. We do a number line, and we have the point -2, which would be here, and the point would be here. These are my points of 0, which would be, let's see here, here's -2 right there. And here's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. So at those points, something may be happening. These are possible candidates for extrema. Well, let's figure out what the sign here is. This is the sign. The sign of the first derivative. If I take, let's do this middle section here. If I pick a number in here, let's say I pick 0. And I come up here and I put a 0 here, that's going to be a negative number. And I put a 0 there, and that's going to be a positive number. And a negative times a positive is a negative. So in this middle section, the slope is going down. Well, what's happening out here? If I pick 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, I'm just going to pick 10. If I take a 10 and put it there, I have 6. And this would be 12, so that'd be a positive times a positive. Well, the slope there is going up. So right here at this value of 4, I have this minimum curve right there because the graph goes down and then up. Well, let's check this one. What if I put a -10 in here? Well, that's going to be negative and negative, so that's a negative and a negative, which is a positive, so that's going up. So you can see what's going on in this graph. It's going up, then down, and then back up. Up, then down, then back up, and we got there by the slope. Let's go ahead and finish those values so we can see. If I put in -2 there, hey, it's 9.3 again. If I plug in 4 there, it's negative 26. So wow, let's see what this graph does. At negative 2, it goes up to 9, and it goes up. And then at 4, it drops way down to negative 26, probably somewhere down there. So it goes down. And then what happens here at 7? It goes back up. Let's try and see if we can't get a good picture of this on this window here. Let's put negative 3 to 7. Let's not go up any higher than we need to. The highest is 9.3, so let's just go up to 10 high and down to negative 26. Let's go down to negative 27. Scale it by, scale it by 5. Try not to go any higher than you need here. We're only going out to negative 3. We're going to 7, down to negative 27, up there, and we have a graph. There's a graph, and it goes back up. And you can hit trace, and you can watch this graph right there. At 4, it's down by about negative 26, and then it goes back up. And you can come over here, and you can trace, and you can see, well, right about here at negative 2, there's that maximum there. And remember again, if you don't want to just use trace, you can hit second calc, and you can find the value of the maximum. You can hit the left side and the right side, and then make a guess, and there's that number 2, which is right there, 9.3. All right, so we've done everything but answer the question now, right? What are the extrema? Well, the global maximum on this, we have a global max here and here. This is a global max, and this one ties for the global max. Those are the highest values on the graph. What is the global minimum? Well, the global minimum is that one. This is the day that they had the lowest. However, now we have some additional stuff, right? This right here is the top of a hill, so this point right here is also a relative max because it's the maximum of this area over here. This one does not count because there isn't a left and right side. And this down here is a global minimum, but it's also a relative minimum. And what is this guy here? This guy here is nothing special. It is just a point that's in the middle of the graph. So the answer to the question is find all the extrema. These are the extrema. This point is nothing. This point is a global max and it's a relative max. This one is a global minimum and it's a relative minimum. This is a global max here because it tied this score up here. It was the tie, but it's not a relative. Just think of these ones. This is the overall. This is the overall. This is the overall. This is a hill. This is a valley. And this one can't be a hill because it only has one side, right? It doesn't come down on the other side. And if we were to look at this graph here, it doesn't come down. This one goes up then down. This one just goes up. If I zoom out a little bit, you'll see it goes up. It doesn't come down. Relative, relative. The other ones are global. All right. Again, to wrap it up, this is our function. This is the interval. And our job is to find all extrema. And there they all are. I hope this helps.